Hey guys, welcome back to Homemade Homestead. My name is Rachel if you're new around here, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making sauerkraut. Now I'm a total newbie at this. I have never made sauerkraut before, but I was inspired by Art and Bree over on their channel. They just barely posted a video on them making a bunch of sauerkraut because they have a lot of cabbages coming in from the garden. And we do too. Back here on this counter I have, I think it's like 10, we'll count in a minute, of cabbages that we just harvested from the garden. So I figured, why not give it a try? This is the best time to try it, right? Sauerkraut is supposed to be super good for you. So let's get right into it. Again, I'm a newbie. I have never made this before, so just come along with me as I give it a try and let's see how this works. So over here I just have a cutting board. I'm gonna grab a knife. I have 2 big jars. These are just pickle jars that I've cleaned really well. I'm gonna have a coffee filter and a clean hair tie to go on top. I have a huge bowl and I have some salt. This is Redmond salt. So this is all I need besides cabbage. I'm gonna grab another bowl for our chicken. So if there's any yucky parts or just like the outer leaves or anything like that, I'll just throw those to the chickens. They love cabbages. They say in their video that you can even use store-bought cabbage. So if you're not getting cabbages in from the garden, maybe you could give that a try too. So I'm just getting, ooh, there is a worm. Ew, look at that. It was a worm. Ugh. The chickens will love that. So I'm just taking off any yucky bits. Also, I'm just taking out the core. And all of my stuff is very clean. And I'm just going to cut it pretty fine. And then I'm gonna get this into my big bowl. On their video, they posed a question of why, if you've never made sauerkraut before, why haven't you? And I wrote down below that it was fear of failure. I was nervous about mold or if our family would even eat it. I didn't want to waste homegrown cabbage, so that's why I've never made it before. But this year we have a lot of cabbages, so why not give it a try this year? I'm just hopeful that my family will eat it and like it. It's pretty easy to see where your core is. It kind of looks like a tree stump. It's this part right here. You want to pull that out because it's quite tough. Let me know down below if you guys have ever made anything like this before. I'd love to get into making like kimchi. I tried that one time. That one was a failure. So it just, I think I didn't ferment it long enough. I'm pretty new to ferment. I tried pickles last year and kimchi, like a small little bottle. I've never tried sauerkraut though. If you're growing a garden, how's your garden doing this year? Are you guys harvesting anything? Are you guys running low on water? Because it seems like we are. We haven't had rain for a long time and our irrigation water is kind of low. But we had a good cabbage year, so can't complain about that. Our tomatoes aren't looking that great. We didn't end up using row covers this year, so we do have some bug damage. I think next year I'm gonna give row covers a try. We just were kind of in a rush when we put the plants in. We still got great cabbages, but it's one of those things that you kind of wish you would have done after the fact because there'd be less bug damage now. All right, I got all those cabbages chopped up. It ended up being 7, and this is my huge, massive bowl. My huge, massive bowl. It's the biggest bowl that I have. Anyway, so here's that. And next we're gonna add salt. They don't tell us how much salt to add in their video. They just say to taste. So here is my Redmond salt. It gets clumpy, that's totally normal. This is a product in Utah, and it's just got a lot of minerals in it. I try to use this salt solely in our kitchen. I don't use iodized salt or anything like that. So we're gonna use some of this. I'm gonna start with 1/4 cup, and we'll go from there. And then they say bruise it. I saw them use like a wooden thing. I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to use my hands and kind of get in there. And this is going to release a lot of liquid from the cabbage. So we're just gonna massage it. We're gonna let it sit, release a lot of juice. And yeah, we'll just keep testing it, or we'll keep tasting it and see what we think. I'm gonna cover mine with a clean tea towel just so no flies or anything get in it. So you can tell in my bowl it's shrunk down quite a bit. And in the bottom, there's actually some liquid. And the cabbage feels like rubbery now, not as crisp. I've added about 3/4 cup of salt, and I've tasted it. It's salty, but not like overly salty. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm just gonna keep massaging it, and then I'm gonna start packing my 2 jars. What I like about these pickle jars is my whole hand can fit down into them. So I can put it down there and kind of push it down. Now I'm gonna take the liquid that's left in my bowl and I'm gonna pour some in each one of my containers. We're gonna try to get that liquid, I guess, above the cabbage. That's our goal. So something about air can bring in bad bacteria. So. All right, so I've packed it down really well, and I'm gonna take a butter knife, and they say to try to get any bubbles out that you can see. So I'm going along. You can kind of see them on the side of your jar, like if you look. So you're just pushing down, trying to let those bubbles escape. With the brine in there, it does taste pretty salty, so I'm hopeful that I didn't like over salt it. But I guess this is all the fun of learning something new. Okay, I'm just gonna push it down again. And now I have some extra cabbages. I have 2 left in the fridge. I'm gonna take a couple of clean outer leaves and do like a flat piece on top so that none of the little bits and pieces will try to float to the top. Now in their video, I watched them put like another jar on top of it and put water. I don't have one that's this size that will fit down. I'm just trying to get all the yucky stuff off this side of the glass too. So I actually have some mason jar weights. These are for a regular mouth jar. So I'm going to just put like a couple weights on this. And you're just making sure that everything is underneath. You don't want any bits to float to the top. So now that I've got all the cabbage in there with the brine, that 1 leaf, and then I have my glass weights, everything is underneath the level. I'm gonna put on my coffee filter and my clean hair tie. Just like that. I'm gonna set this whole thing in a cool place. They suggest to taste it in the 5 to 7 day range, which, I don't know, once it gets to that point that you like the flavor of it, then you pop it into your fridge and eat it from there. Well, I hope you guys will give this sauerkraut a try, and we'll let you know what we think of it once it's done fermenting. Thanks so much again for joining me today in my kitchen, and I hope you will subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll talk to you guys again real soon. Bye-bye now.